Life is full of work and stress. Parenting can be a mess. Being a woman is hard enough without adding on that extra stuff. We'll cover topics of every kind. Helpful resources we will find. We'll even drink a bottle of wine. Join us. It will be a real good time.
Hi, I'm Amanda,
And I'm Nikki.
and welcome to Working Mom's Wine, where we drink a bottle of wine.
And whine about our crazy, busy, stressful working mom lives and all the pests that interrupt it
That's right.
while trying to offer resources to help.
And we will be whining about a very specific pest today. But first,
Mhm.
wine talk. What do you got?
I'm doing Nighthawk Bada Box Lush Pinot Noir.
Nice.
Pretty sure it's one I've done before because it's one of my usuals.
Love it. Well, we had Easter last weekend, and not all of my guests ended up being able to come over because we had some illness and things like that. So we didn't drink the sparkling white that I bought, so I'm going to drink it tonight. It's
All right.
Gloria Ferrer, whatever, Sonoma Brute. It says it's the first sparkling winery in Carneros, wherever that is. It's a dry sparkling wine with green apple and pear, and the finish has a hint of ginger, which is
Very
good because I've
nice.
got a hint of heartburn.
Oh, man. This isn't going to help that.
Well, maybe the ginger will.
Not put my...
Maybe not. Maybe ginger's just for upset stomachs and I'm making this up.
Ginger's good for heartburn, too.
Okay.
If there's enough of it, I would guess, and not just syrup flavor. Is it like real ginger in there?
I would assume so based on where this is from. I love bubbly. I don't know if you can see the bubbles.
Ooh,
I love when there's
yeah.
like so many bubbles. Um, I would assume it's real ginger, but we'll find out. So today we're going to whine about wasps.
Yes.
It is spring, it is moving into summer, and all the annoying bugs are starting to come out again. And there's just been a lot of wasp stories coming from Nikki, and I thought it would be fun to whine about them. So,
It's so fun. I live near a local body of water, and so we get lots of gnats and mosquitoes and all kinds of things. But I also, in my small backyard, have an apple tree, and it brings hummingbirds, but it also brings wasps and yellow jackets.
yay.
So that's fun. And it's just that time of year where they're starting to show up. And so I'm out with the dogs one day, watching them, making sure they're going to the bathroom. I'm just standing there and I notice all these wasps flying back and forth. And I'm like, what? So I have this small fenced in backyard for my condo. And the fence is like an every other spaced out thing. So there's like a side for my neighbor and a side for me. And there's like this gap in between. So you can go to the wall, like the edge of the wall, and look in and see kind of through the tunnel, I guess you would say, of the fence, the innards of the fence. And so a lot of times wasps will go up in there behind one of the planks and build a little nest in that little tunnel. So I saw the wasps flying around and I was like, okay, let me figure out where this thing is so I can knock it down. And I looked in every single wall and every single, there's like three little levels you can look through. No nests. So I'm like, what is going on? They're everywhere. There has to be something nearby. So I'm just watching and I got out my spray and I have that spray, that shoots 6 feet or whatever. I can never kill one with it because I just have crappy aim. Like it has to really be staying still for quite a while where it's at for me to get it with that stuff. And I hate spraying it over the yard because I'm sure it's not good for dogs to lick up and mine eat everything. So I'm like, ugh. So I get the dogs inside. I'm like trying to catch them. I can't figure it out. And then I think to myself, next to my patio door, I have one of those metal racks that holds wood for your fireplace, chopped wood, logs. That's the word I'm looking for. So I'm like, oh, okay. And I have it covered with a tarp for the weather, you know. And I'm like, I wonder if there's any in there because one of the buckles at the bottom of the thing is undone. Some of the Velcro doesn't look quite lined up, so it's not like sealed closed. And I was right. I unbuckled the thing. I like slowly peel it back, and the like the Velcro is in like 4 sections, and it's pretty strong. So I'm like unbuckling the thing at the bottom and like pulling a Velcro thing and running away, and then like going back up and pulling another Velcro thing and running away because I'm terrified of getting stung. It was a whole thing. I finally got the whole flap open, and I did find a big wasp nest in there. And I was lucky that there was no wasp in it when I was pulling this thing open, but one did fly out kind of at me, but it was before I had really disturbed as much. So the whole time I'm just like, oh my God, I'm going to get stung. Trying to like do a little bit and run away, do a little bit and run away. So I finally was able to soak the nest with the spray. And then, like, maybe an hour later, I went outside and, like, knocked it down with the broom. But every time I'm, like, standing at my patio door looking all around, like, are there any flying? Do I see any before I sneak out of the house? It was ridiculous. And I'm sure many neighbors got quite the show as I, like, looked all over the place and, like, went, ah, and ran in and out of my house. Like, stupid. And I thought I was good because after I knocked it all down, I didn't see any for a while. And I read all the tips about how to keep wasps away. So I took paper sacks and crumpled it up like a hornet's nest and hung it in my tree and did all kinds of stuff. Made some weird apple cider vinegar mixture that they're supposed to dive into and die. Didn't work. None of it worked. I thought the hornet's nest was working because I hadn't seen any in a while. But I was out there today and a wasp landed right on it, gave no F's. So obviously he's not that scared of it. So like, okay. And then I saw
Right.
one land on the tarp. See, we had a lot of torrential rainstorms last week, so I had to recover the wood with the tarp thing. And I thought to myself, I'm going to regret this. I don't want to cover this back up, but I have to. So I tried real hard to like seal the Velcro all the way down and clip it at the bottom, but it doesn't go all the way to the ground. So there's still a way to like get up in there. And I watched a wasp today land on the tarp and shimmy his way inside. And I was like, F.
I tried to get Nicole to record herself dealing with the wasps so that you guys would have some content, but she didn't do it.
I recorded a little bit the very first time that I was dealing with it, but it wasn't, all the funny stuff had already happened. So I don't feel like it's
Reenactment.
comedy gold. Like, but now the tarp is off of it again and all my wood is like exposed. And so the next time it rains, maybe we'll have more material.
Maybe. I suggested she just burn everything. And let me set the scene here. There's the fence, and the wood, like the tarp is between the fence and the wood, and then we'll go over the wood. And the wood is piled up against the back of the tarp. And I said, well, why don't you just light all those logs on fire? I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure your fence won't catch fire and cause a big issue, but even if it does, the wasps will be gone.
Solid sisterly advice.
We had one end up in our house on Saturday, maybe. So someone was letting the dog out, and I guess there are some either in our fire pit or they were hanging out on the edge of the deck today, so maybe in a hole there. But one of them got into the house and probably like the biggest, fattest wasp I've ever seen in my life.
Ooh.
But it managed to get shooshed back out the back door, so we didn't have to deal with it. But I was just like,
Well,
oh
that's
my
good.
gosh. And this is, of
Yeah.
course, right after we're dealing with someone having the stomach bug. And so I'm like, I do not need also a wasp in my life right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot when I was looking and I'm watching the wasp crawl into the tarp. I realized there was a yellow jacket in my house, like
Eee.
on the other side of the patio door, flopping around on the carpet. And I was like, what? And then he came at the window once, so I pulled open the door and ran away. And I think he flew out. I'm pretty sure. I haven't seen him since, but I think I saw him fly out. And then I grabbed the dogs and ran back in and shut the door
Oh
and
my
waited
God.
quite a while and complained to you before I went back out there and tried to get the
Yep.
tarp off.
So I decided it would be fun to look up some facts about wasps, even though wasps are not fun. So I don't think these are fun facts. I think they're just facts. um, but there are over 30,000 different species of wasps. Many of them have fun names like sand wasps, fairy wasps, fig wasps. You
Why are
know
there
what?
so many and their name is never fun if it ends with wasp?
Exactly. It doesn't matter what you put in front of it. This is not a fun name because we all
No.
know what's coming.
Right.
They don't always live in hives. So social wasps, the ones that live in groups, will use their stingers to protect and defend, but there's solitary ones that use their stingers to hunt prey.
Ooh, creepy.
They like to hunt other insects
Or Nikki's legs.
or Nikki's legs. These often overlooked pollinators feed on pollen and nectar as well as other insects, meaning they can be beneficial for controlling pest populations. I don't care. Get rid of them. Other things eat these things too.
Right.
We all know that they can sting multiple times. Oh,
Mm.
this is interesting. Only female wasps have stingers, just like only female mosquitoes can bite.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Bitches be tripping.
I feel like there's a shirt there.
There's a merch opportunity there.
They don't have hair. I think you can tell that by looking at them.
Yeah.
Males die after mating. What is it with that in the bug world? This happens a lot. It
I
either
mean,
dies or it gets eaten.
I feel like they got it right.
I know. I cannot disagree. Sorry,
Oh, that
working
was
mom,
terrible.
working dads that whine. They use scent to communicate. It says if you come across one, don't swat at it. When it dies, the body releases a pheromone that alerts other wasps in the area that can make them more aggressive and lead to getting swarmed. They come in different colors. Obviously, we're more familiar with black and yellow, but there's one in Australia that's metallic blue and green. Of course, it's in Australia. Australia has all the weird bugs. Why? Keep in mind, this next one is from Reddit. But it says that 99% of wasp species are non aggressive and live solitarily. And then someone commented, to be precise, there's over 30,000 species of wasps, which we just read. But hornets and yellow jackets make up less than 100 of those. The rest would rather stay away from you.
Oh, okay. I started to say, I beg to differ.
Well, and that's the thing. You might look at 30,000 versus 100 and go, well, that's not that many. Well, guess what? When all of the 100 species that do care live around you,
Then you care.
then you care. I wanted to share my top wasp killing hack, and it does work. It's tried and true.
Tried and
But
true.
you can mix equal parts water and dish soap, and it kills them immediately. Um, if you can squirt them with it.
So to say, once again, this tactic requires aim,
True, true.
which Nikki's apparently terrible at.
So we were having something. I don't remember if it was Easter or a party or whatever, and the kids were playing outside, and the wasps were in the little playhouse that we had. And I don't remember if we just Googled this or how we found out about it, but we had a couple spray bottles and we filled them up. And I kid you not, Brandon was like double fisting these spray bottles, and it was like a video game to him. Like he just went out there like squirting wasps left and right. So that's our go to. When the one got in the house, he's like, do we have a spray bottle? And I'm like, probably somewhere in a box I haven't unpacked yet, which is why that one got to live.
So Ari watches a lot of YouTube, and she came up to me the other day and said, "I want a Wii." And I said, "You want a Wii?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "I have one. I've had a Wii in the closet
Good news for you.
that's been in the closet since we moved in 7 years ago, like 6 years ago." So we dug it out, and of course, that's when I remembered I gave some of my games and my Wiimotes to mom so that all the grandkids could play together on hers at her house in the summer. So I texted mom and I said, "I need my Wiimotes back." We got the stuff, and Ari is just like dying because she wanted to do it. What night was that? See, yesterday was Monday. So it was Sunday. She wanted to play, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Girlfriend, not everything is instant gratification. I'm not going to go out and buy Wiimotes when I have two at Grandma's house. I'm not going to drive to Grandma's late at night on a Sunday. Like, we have to get to bed and get up and go to school, and we'll go over Monday night and get it." So we went over, we got it, we got home, plugged everything up, and played Mario Kart. And I whooped her behind several times. It took me a couple rounds to remember how to do everything, and like, but I got back into first place.
Nice.
And then she wanted to play boxing, and I have this hilarious video. I don't know if it will come across the screen, but she was really
It is a
into
very
it.
good video. Oh yeah, you can see it.
Jumping and diving,
Get that
dodging.
girl a punching bag.
And then she came upstairs for snack, and she said, "Mom, my stomach hurts. My side hurts." I
That's called
said,
exercise.
I said, "You were moving around in new ways
Mm-hmm.
for a little bit there, and quite aggressively. Your muscles are
And
going to
quite
hurt."
aggressively.
She's like, "My muscles don't hurt. My stomach hurts." I said, "Your stomach, there's muscles in front of it. That's what hurts."
Yeah,
It was kind of funny, but
that's hilarious.
it made me laugh that she was so suddenly interested in such an old game console that I haven't heard anybody talk about in years. Some kid got out Mario Galaxy on his, and so she was all like, "I need the Wii."
I was gonna wait until we painted to hang up things downstairs, but I got tired of waiting and hung a bunch of things up. And then we went down there for the tornado warning the other day and hooked up the GameCube. And we
Okay.
can't find the controller. Like, I need to figure out,
Oh.
that's got to be in a box somewhere. But we turned it on just to see if it would work, and everything booted up. And we've got Mario Sunshine on that one.
Oh,
So I'm hoping
okay.
to find the controllers in time for Friday. And that way, when Lucas has his friends over, they can all play the GameCube. Well, as always, you can find us on all the socials as Working Moms Wine. We have workingmomswine.com and patreon.com/workingmomswine. And we will see you in May for whatever we're going to do then. Bye.
Bye.